Okay, so I guess this is my actual attempt. It's not showing me the thing, but it's saving it. So let me try and, now where do I get the link so I can share a link? Let's see. How do I get the link to share it? I really shouldn't. I should like have my ducks in a row, but I don't. Really? Here we go. How do I get my link? Really, it just doesn't give me the link. Oh, there it is. Let me post this real quick. And let's see. Let's see, I need a journal. I think this is 7 redo that we're doing live. Here's the link if you want hang out. Okay. Let's see that. I wonder if it lets me embed stuff on DeviantArt. That's kind of weird. Oh, it won't let me do that because I'm in Brave, because I like Brave. Brave is a great browser. All right, well. Weird. If I click on it, will it take me there? Probably. Should. Yeah. If I Sweet. Click on it, will it take me there? Probably. Should. And I don't want to have that up because it's going to get the microphone double. All right, well, I am fighting my way through Chateau 7's latest redo, and I've got a lot to do. I had problems with this pen yesterday, but it's working good now, so I've got to handle it carefully and not put it down. So, the original of this was quite a long time ago in 2015, where I had, let's see, this horizontal format looks pretty bad. Colors are awful, but you know, I don't know, I always like that. Let's see. Get me back to, and this is my most recent one. You know, I just have too many text bubbles, but I was always having the problem of it's too confusing. So, yeah, I don't know. Weird. Let's see, did this post on DA? I don't know. Let's see. It should show up on my journals page if it did. I never know when something's going to post or when it's just not. It did post because I was able to click on it. Yeah, fine. All right, we're up. All right, what am I going to do? I have this one. This other one was from. I obviously need to close that. That's a huge thing. Okay, so that was the 6 redo. And that is 6 redo that I've done. I'm going to need to grab this for the opening scene here, but I'm just going to go ahead and take the, because that's like almost 4 GB file, I'm just going to duplicate that layer to a new file and start over again. G.C1.1.7. Redo 2018. And save that as a PSB with the layers fine. Then I can get rid of the big file and just work on the smaller one, though given how long it is and how many text bubbles, probably going to end up adding some more frames here, and it's just probably going to end up too long, so I might have to split it eventually. And kill that, kill that. I probably shouldn't have killed that, but I can always bring it back up. Now, what do we have here? So I have a lot of text, and it's like, which direction do you read it in? It's not really bad, but it's like bad enough. It, like, got little figures there that just aren't well painted. I might do a lot better to actually draw them out. And too much dialogue. Not enough frames. And then this, I'm probably not going to get done today because I want to turn that into the 3D one, a 3D background. Oh, what do I do? How do I get started? Let me open up that G.C1.1.6. Get the redo that I did of 6 the other day, so I can grab that, or actually, let's see. Yeah, let me get. I want my hard drive one. That's the one. Open that one up so I can get my first frame here. And we'll see what's going on. Let's see, what do we have? It takes forever to open, of course. I can kind of plan my way through this, I suppose. So we've got the establishing shot here with kind of Xander staring up at the sky and Grant and Shane kind of struggling up in the background. It has stopped raining. And then Xander kind of goes back out and grabs Shane, sticks him in this fireman's carry, and brings it back, stuffs him in the car. So I should probably have like a reaction shot after this shot of him staring up at the sky. Yeah, okay, so let me grab this shot. And we can just start from here. Alright, so here's our new establishing shot. Looks a little brighter, which I like. It doesn't have to be super late. He was eating dinner, so it's probably not super late. If it was me, if I was eating dinner, it would be super late, but whatever. And how much dialogue do I need here? I'm just going to retype the dialogue, so I'll probably like misspell everything. But I think what we need here is a reaction shot. He needs to sort of like notice that they're out there, and then I can place more of that dialogue over this. So let me see, how much dialogue can I put in here? let's get my... Ah, I dropped my pen. I can't drop that pen, or it's gonna break. Let's see. Take that to black. Not for his worrying, but he's got a point, and I'm just going to make that one bubble because we really don't need that to be two. And then what are my next bits of dialogue? I might as well type them up. Can't even pull this guy up bank back to the car. And then I can stop. This needs to be longer. A came in its tracks. That's not the possessive S. I always mess that up. I don't think it should be possessive there. Well, I mean, it is the possessive S, which with its is, if you put the apostrophe in there, it's the contraction of it is, I think, if I have that right. I'm gonna scrub that stuff about wisdom and hope, I think. I think I'm just gonna have Xander bragging about being a wonder kid. And for this, now the files start getting big. Do I need anything specifically out of this? I could use... No, I don't think I do. I should... Oh, you know, this frame is a lot bigger. And I did the paint-ins in the background, so I'm going to get this frame before I go. So, turn off the final one, and let me grab all the above stuff. Turn that off. And just... Do I want this? I think I'm going to have this reaction shot without Xander in it. Did I paint on a car and mess it up? Should I do that? Oh. Ah, there we go. So let me just grab this. And that is Shift-Command-C. And then it takes forever because this is 2,500 pixels wide. File itself is pretty close to 40,000. This one didn't go too bad, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to run over on this next one. Let's see. And I'm going to crop that up, but I don't need to save any of this, so I can close that pretty fast. And let me save this one instead. Now I want like a, I need to set up my mask here, which I spelled badly, but whatever. So I usually just mask off my backgrounds when I'm going to do my sketching and lines. So I'll do a sketch layer and turn it to like 50%, and then a lines layer, which I do in black before I go to color. And this can be the text group. Okay, so now, so these last two lines of text, head down like that down. I've got to figure out my cropping for this next one. Let's see. So I want a shot, like a close-up of him kind of twisting around, maybe looking off into the distance. So it doesn't need to be really wide. So I'm just going to mask. Wait, come back. Uh-oh. Don't do this to me, pen. Oh, it's doing it to me. The pen died. Sweet. So let me mask this, and then when you unlink them, then you can move stuff around, like kind of. If you hold shift, it'll keep. Okay, so I tapped the pen's back. Hallelujah. Let me kind of widen this up a bit. I don't know if I actually want that moon in there, but I'm just going to leave this sort of. How tall is he against this car? Where is it coming up to? He's about like right below the shoulder blades, so this needs to be a tad smaller. Getting a new pen here. Alright, so then that's going to be head and shoulders kind of like that, so let me sketch this out. Get my black and white, my favorite drawing pastel brush. And what are we going to do? He's sort of... I may even move this background, or just have kind of Grant over here. Why am I on the eraser? B for brush, E for eraser. Let's see. I want to turn this on to flow. And this at 100%, so let's see. Turn that down to 30. So kind of Grant and Shane are about this size over here, having their issues. I really want Xander closer, like that, like just like a head and shoulders here. I don't know. Arms. This, let's see. How am I doing? Oh, hey, Downey Studios. How is it going today? I do not know anything about live streaming, so I just check back and see that. How's it going? Okay, come on, get back here. There we go. So if he's sitting here kind of like this, and he's looking off to the side, how can I make that like look interesting? Look at this. 0. Whoa. Oops. Having rotate problems. I always have problems with this tool. I should like, I don't know. And I'm having pen issues. But I was just there a second ago. See, the pen is like dying here. Maybe I can't even do this. Well, I can set something up. That's a terrible sketch, but it is a sketch. And let's take a look. What's the next bit? Oh, that's right. I really want to keep this behind this. Okay. So then he's gonna kind of I need a frame where he's like walking out, and because this is a bad pen day. Nope. Still messing up. Let's see. I'm just gonna like frame it out. So I'll need to have like an establishing thing with him walking out after this frame here. And you gotta pull this down. Because he's gonna do the pickup. Come on. Go. Calculate. And I should probably make that pretty narrow here too. Maybe I can get some of the other dialogue from later and just move it up so it's not really in the way. Let's see. Then I want to take this frame, so I want a little bit more space for the pickup, and move this down. So like, so he runs out, picks up Shane there. Or no, he's running out in the one. He's doing this pickup in the other, which, let me make that bigger. And I'll have to grab, let's see, how have I done with the car so far? I'm trying to like do things that don't require the pen. Let me go look at my car renders. Do I have one? I do have one that's like ready to go. Let's see. I did these yesterday. So if I look at them, there we go. Like, let's see. Here's a good car render. Toss in the car. How is that angle? It's not bad, but let's see. Oh, I guess I have to rasterize before I can. Or can I just transform it? Yeah, okay, so I can change the perspective on this nifty little thing. Like that. Maybe change the size a bit. Move it out of frame. I'm going to get rid of that purple here in a second. Let's see. I'm using the magic wand tool, and I was working at about 30. That kind of, a little bit too much, maybe 20. Get your general, let's see, I'll take this tolerance down to 10 for the interior window. Then I can just click expand it by pixel. Still am getting those stars. Let me expand it by another pixel. And that's pretty good. Let's add this, I don't know what that's a reflection of in the car. But then I can mask this. Oh wait, I have to invert it first. And then mask the car off, and then it's just the car. And then I'll throw a background. I'll throw that Terrigen background in. Let's see, where did I render that to yesterday? I think I put that. Let's arrange this by date added. Oh, let's see. I forget where I put that. I'll find it and slap it in. Alright, so we've got this. Oh, and the rotation issue just kills me. I've got to like disable rotation on that. Can I get my pen working again here? Nope. Maybe not. I doubt it. Then we'll just have to like do this whole thing without the pen. Great. Alright, so there's our car. So Xandru's doing the fireman carry. And then here he's going to carry him away. That's fine. It's about find space. And I'm going to kill this dialogue too, so I'm just going to have Grant thinking his things. I guess the point be to, let's see, keep the idea that, as I'm kind of introducing the idea that, you know, Xander is a, what is it called, a, an obligate telepath. He can't stop reading people's minds. And also that Grant prefers to humor Xander's crackdown on invective. And so I'll keep those. I have Grant kind of bigger in the background since I can't I have to like do all my prototyping here with like a trackpad. Let's see, like move him up like that. Whatever, something like that. And you know, as far as I might as well like outline my frames here while I'm at it, because I'll just have to do it later anyways. So I'm just, oh wait, that's a circle. I don't know if it's, I have this keyed to U. That's handy shortcut. And I've also got this duplicate hotkey setup, which I use a lot for speed. So this frame is going to kind of go like there. This frame with him like walking out is going to be smaller. Let's see if I can't like draw on the thing with my finger. Let's see. Take it to the brush. No, I can't. I'd have to like press real hard. So car's here, like drawing on a trackpad, and he'll be like walking out like this with Grant a little bit closer, but not too much closer. And then in this one, probably have him actually do maybe a close-up here with the fireman carry lift. Next frame, can pull that down here, and this one pull it down like that. So then, so he's getting yelled at telepathically by Grant. Opens this car door. That's a, I don't know, that's a fine size for this frame. So I'm just gonna set it off. Of course, I'm gonna make it the widescreen. And then here, I don't know, Grant is like too big. But instead of making this whole thing smaller, kind of take this, I'm gonna just make this piece a little bigger. I can't do that, or I'm gonna cover up my stuff. Let me just throw this kind of on top. And then, like, how big does this need to be? Because I need to show the car, I need to show him. And then I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna move Grant over to like here. And then I'm going to duplicate that transform with Command-Shift-T. Let's put my dialogue piece in here so I can make sure. I'm probably going to move it over here because there's a nice space there. What are you going to do with him? Okay, fine. I think I can, if I move that down there, it might fit in the bubble better. Try that. So, I'm gonna move that. Fine, that looks good. And get this frame set up. Maybe a little narrower, about there. Now this, I like this concept, but I've got, what do you call that? It's a depth of the camera. You know, kind of when you watch a camera, they can like pull the focus so something that's close looks far away or far away looks close. I think I've got a problem there, and I need to do that so like it feels closer, like the hand does not feel right, and his head seems like too small. So he's sort of leaning into the car here, so I'm gonna have to set up that render. That's a different render. Maybe I can do that here. Because in this streaming software, which I'm trying for like the very first time, let's see if how do I do a scene transition? If I go over to Blender and set up that render here, do I do a scene transition? Let's see. How do I do that? How about I click here? Does it just go? It just did the transform? Probably. I don't know. I can't really check because it doesn't show me what I'm streaming. Alright, but let's see. Should be now over here in Blender. And for this I can put away my pad which is broken. My poor drawing tablet dies. And let me turn on the mouse. There's my mouse. Come on, mouse. Get going. There we go. Yeah, I know it's slow. Everything dies. Okay, so now I've got this beautiful car model. And he's loading Shane in, kind of like the camera is going to be here. Look at that. So in order to do this, I'm on my camera over here, get to a unused frame, and I will align my active camera to view and make sure I'm looking through my camera. Let's see, there we go. You can see the passive R2, I think that's called. Come on, get back to the camera. There we go. And it's kind of low because you're kind of seeing a little bit about Shane, but maybe not super low because that's really not great framing. And this, the focal length, that's what I mean about, like, it's way too like that, where I need maybe like, let's call it 35, 25. That looks a little bit more reasonable. How far back can I go with this camera before I hit the door? Okay, there we go. So if I changed the angle slightly and kind of angled down so you could get that, you know, yeah, just kind of like that. So you got the whole door. Xander's going to be leaning in the door. He's like stuck Shane down here and he's holding his hand out over the seat, which is going to like reach to there. So I can hit I, add some keyframes. I will keyframe my focal length too, and then I'm going to, I don't want this to go to temp. I want this to like just go someplace desktop, except, yes, I know my mouse batteries are going to die at any second. And then I'll just make sure I'm animating only that one frame, save it, because I have no idea when things are going to crash, and boom, we should be rendering that, and then I can go back to Photoshop. So let me switch the screens back. Did that work? I don't know. I'll have to go back and check later. Okay, so I'm re-rendering that car background here. Get my text in here. Oh, Xander doesn't tell enough people information. It's too stuck up. Alright, and then we've got Grant getting in this car, and I've got a lot too much like expositional dialogue here. I feel like they're doing like Hollywood narration, and I hate Hollywood narration, but what is my key thing that I need that Grant is figuring on Shane going back to the mainland, and that it's an island. Islands, I don't think I've mentioned that it's an island, have I? No, I have. So I can scrub that, I think. Because that's a decent thing. So how about have just get rid of my mouse. Oh man. Let's see if the pen has decided to start working again and I can keep sketching. Try this. Yeah? No? Nope. Oh, gosh. Nope. Okay, so I'm going to try this again after I get my new tablet, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm just going to have Grant say he can't stay here. And the point about him being a U.S. citizen is he's got like rights that Xander's inmates actually don't have, since they've handed these guys over to Xander and said, like, they're your problem now. We don't want to see him again. So I'm going to say he's got rights, like fair trial. U.S. citizen. So he has... Now this might be confusing that that's a passport. But it is important that Grant's gone through his pockets. Let's see. Am I still running? Okay, cool. Try this out. Alright, so Grant has gone through his pockets. He's found his wallet. He's found a passport. Scrub that one. That's not good dialogue. Tenacious Shame of Carbonville, Utah. There we go. I want to call him Mr. Oh, see, this is terrible because it won't fit in the bubble. That's a terrible bubble outline. I'm going to scrub the now because I don't need that. Unless you want nice folks in Washington to remember that out here being lazy. He is being lazy. But he's not, like, destroying anything. And then this is, like, way too complicated of a sentence construction here. I'm just going to have Grant say you can't touch him. He's not yours. And then Xander's like, run a background check. And these are fine size scenes. We're going to make them widescreen. But that's okay. Oh, and here for this, unless you want me to run my own version of a background check, that I think I'm going to give a separate frame to. So run background check. I'm misspelling everything. Background. I'll decide what to do when we have more information. Fine. And then this next one is going to get another. Let me save this here for a sec because I already run off the canvas that I had. Let's see, this canvas size should go to, I can go to 40,000 without crashing my computer. Generally. Oh, it takes forever to process stuff. Fine. Whatever. Okay. Size takes forever. Savings takes forever. let me go over, let's check on our render, see how it's doing, huh? Show Blender screen, look at this. Dark. Oh, was I supposed to have, there was a light. I had a light on the inside, I think, of the, let me stop this actually. Let me turn it on the viewport render. I think that's right, because when they were out of the car, I was having a different light set up than when they were in the car. Let's see, I think it was this light that I had. Oh, no, not that one. That one's too bright. That one's way too bright. But I do have a lamp. Is this a sun? This isn't, yeah, it is a sun lamp. That's the moonlight. I think I should probably just move this point, because it's like, what do they call it? There's a light on the top of a car. It'll be a point, make it a black body node, 3000 degrees maybe, and then turn that down to maybe 10. And if I move it kind of up close to the ceiling, then I should get a little bit of light. That's still too bright. Let's see. Let's move that down to, oh goodness, 1? Just a real soft light. Yeah, like it's the ceiling light. Maybe 2. And the other thing I forgot to do, I forgot to open the door. All right. So now that I fixed that point, I'm going to go switch back to my material here. Save that. Now, is this door geared up for... No, it's not. Okay, so I'm clicking on the car. And let me kind of select this door real fast. Ta-da! So Blender is so nice. And let me get the interior panels. Just like picking a couple vertexes. And then you do Control L and they get linked. So since when I like geared up this model, I made sure everything was linked. P to separate by selection. And get out of edit mode, select that door. I'm going to have to change the rotational point. I'm going to call this, I'm going to rename this. I don't need to rename it, it's fine, whatever. I'm going to select one vertex here and then Shift S to cursor to selected, get out of edit mode, and then go over to the tools panel and set the origin to 3D cursor, and then I can just go back to my camera here and open the door like that. Boom. And then, oh, I should, however, let's see, undo that. See, Blender is even worse with their undos. Okay, so that was at 0. At frame here, 16, I need the rotation to be at 0. So I'm hitting I on the door over there. So there was a keyframe there. It's still at 0. Now here, I can open the door, hit Z to make sure it's just opening on the Z axis. I want a little bit of that panel showing, so like right there, huh? And then I'm gonna save the rotation there too. And let's try that render again. All right, let's go back to Photoshop. See how we're doing. Ah, okay, so I did got my thing, my big frames at the end have been cut. It's odd. Usually it just like leaves it. Okay, so I need to break this piece like here because I'm adding an extra frame where Xander is threatening to run his own version of a background check. And I think that's probably best as a close-up because you kind of want to get the sense that that it is a threat, and I don't know, not so much that Xander wouldn't want to do that, but that, you know, Grant knows what's his moods are not the best after doing this. So unless you want me to run my own version of a background ground check. Done. Okay, so then this is going to be a different close-up or something. I'll have him with my sketch layer. I'll have him just like, I don't know, big. Oh, it's so frustrating with this pen issue. But oh well, I mean, I was gonna try this live stream stuff out and then do it for real, like, I don't know, later when I'm prepared, because I figured stuff would go wrong. Let's see, move down. I'm definitely going to kind of have Grant in there. This is fine here. I want to leave like a little space there so we can see that car door, because the car door actually looks pretty nice. Make it smaller. Fine. Then this frame here. Get that one set up, ready to go with my panel borders. That's fine, I guess, though I don't really like having that much dialogue in a bubble. Weak hyphen long, manic hyphen depressive fit. One thing that's a problem here is a lot of people are not sure when this is set, and I don't really have a great idea of how to show that. This is so tedious. And then, you know, this is like the part that is, I really haven't figured out yet. So after this, that's fine. That's a fine panel, whatever. And then, you know, Xander, I'm going to do a defocus thing. I always tried to do this with like the defocus on Grant, where Xander is like trying to push his hair back and trying to look a little bit less guilty. And then Grant starts yelling at him, and this is just too much dialogue. We have to figure out how to say that same thing, but make it fit in this panel. How can I combine those two? How about just, you said there was another woman, right? And then, what? Was she dead when you got back? Of course, Grant doesn't know she's in the trunk. Trust you to save the guy. Let the girl die. Had somebody come asking, well, how is this misogynistic? I don't know. I'm going to skip the whatever happened to women and children first. Such a misogynist. I think Xander has earned, after the later chapters, you kind of get where Grant is coming from here. And I really want this to be, I've got so much dialogue in these other frames. I really want that frame to just be this like reaction shot. And I like that image. I'm going to make it better, but it's pretty good so far. So I'm just gonna like leave that one there without dialogue. I like to have breaks. Oh, and now this, where you've got one of the few times where you get to see what Xander's thinking. How do I deal with this? This is what I'm tempted to be like, yeah, this is not working so great. I'll try this tomorrow, but no, I gotta, maybe I'll keep hitting this pen and maybe it'll start working. While I'm trying to figure this out. I need to like hack the pen open. Nope, nothing. There is something loose in there because I can like shake it back and then make it work, and then it's like disconnected. So if I open this, if I crack the pen open, I could probably just put the wire back on. I got like little tweezers I can put the wire back on. Unless like a piece of solder has broken off, which I can't imagine a piece of solder breaking off from inside that pen, but who knows. Oh man. How am I going to arrange these boxes first? It's like, how do I get this amount of text here? I think that's kind of important. These two and this one. Like just like this. What if I did something where, I don't know, you see like he's like getting his tie and shirt and stuff back together. So what if I do like a close-up of those hands and you can see like his hands are shaking or something. So let's just like do that here. Hands. Shaky. I'm like writing on a trackpad. My hands are shaky. Okay. So I just like maybe if I align this over here, that's just a little bit, I don't know. It's still a lot of dialogue. I don't like the fact that it's so much dialogue. But I don't know what else to do yet. Let me move this up, kind of space it out a little bit better like that. And then I can have his hands kind of across there and just... let me get the next... frame here. Now, I did actually render out that background before, so I know how big that frame needs to be. Let me get this and drag it in, these interior backgrounds. See, I did the full interior, I think, yeah, it was this one? Anyways, even if I yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I can do that whole thing right there. And here I've got a problem where Grant is yelling at him for, I don't know, not joining the reserves. Like Xander could ever actually retire from the military. he's like Grace Hopper. They don't let him go. One-way trip here. But he's thinking about what he's going to do, which is confusing. Nobody gets. So what if I leave these panels to be like the Grant panels, where you've got Grant's dialogue, which I'll leave, I suppose. By the way, it's your anniversary. Double anniversary. I believe the military actually allegedly forces you to retire when you're a bit old. Yeah, I think it's like 63 or something. So the retirement issue is it's a real one. But Grant is like 10 years older than that, so he's like way, way overdue. Not that he can't go anywhere either. Let's see. And then what am I going to do with these three? I should space this a little bit more and add another frame for those. So I'm just going to take this like here. Because I'm going to have, I don't know, I've got to have some amount of indication that Xander is plotting his evil plan. Let me type these out, get these spaced out and arranged. I could have just duplicated them over from the other one, but this helps me keep my head straight. Problem. Now, using it, maybe I should just like say changing her mind will be a technically challenging problem. I mean, this is key because even though he can do all these things, he does actually have to know how to do things. But she's got, I'm just going to say the will to endure here. Because there's just too much dialogue in this episode. I need to cut everything out that I can. So, there's our last frame here. Let's see. So this frame is going to go from here to here. Like that. Kind of a narrow one. And then this one will be a little bit more square because it's more personal. And that other one, we'll use that same shot of the car. So I can drag this one down. And same frame that I used for the other one. Come here, get back here. I'm holding shift as I'm dragging to keep it aligned, especially with this having to do everything on a laptop keyboard. Alright, so now what about this dialogue? Okay, so this is a really bad dialogue. Let me turn the car background off, because this is like all happening under them, and they're like thinking in parallel, but it just doesn't work right. What do I do here? I've got what's the important information? This is what I really feel is like Hollywood narration. So I'm going to keep it to Grant's stuff here. And this can either go in a separate frame, or I can find some way to slice that down. Okay, so Grant has already called him a colonel. How about I just have him say something like, "You should have retired ages ago." Somehow. It's another year with you, like, being the world's worst army person ever. I just have no idea where to go on this. Well, in that case, check the render, see how the render is doing. Might as well save Photoshop while I'm checking the render. Okay, look at that. Alright, well, that's not super bad. There's a little bit of graininess here. Am I denoising this? No, I'm not. Why am I not denoising it? I should be. Because that could get rid of the graininess. Look at this. I'm leaving that purple out there, even though I'm gonna mask over it just so I can get a little bit of exterior light on there. I should have had the denoiser on here. I really hate to stop this job again. In fact, I hate to stop the job again so much. I'm like, maybe I'll just denoise it myself in Photoshop later because it's just in that one little area. And I do like a little bit of noise. Noise is actually good because it makes it look just a little bit less like a 3D render. All these guys are adding noise in post on their 3D renders, and I don't know. Cameras are interesting. Getting something to look like a photograph. It's a whole different topic. Alright, well, let's go back to Photoshop. I still have no idea what I'm doing. So what's going on here? This is like really part of the confusing. This is where I notice a lot of people get frustrated with this story and drop it. So what's important? What's Xander's evil plan? Well, he's like rewiring Corey's brain so that now she's a telepath like him. And then he's like backing off so that she doesn't immediately figure out what's going on. And she can just sort of heal up without his mind pressuring her. So now this convincing cover story, I don't think I ever came up with a convincing cover story for Xander. So what if I just say I need some way to stay under her radar for a day or two while she heals? And then he's gonna like sort of trick her into staying long enough that he can try and make her fall in love with him, I suppose. This is the fastest romantic decision ever, right? But hey, comic books. what does he need to do? What's his plan to make her stay? Well, what does he do? Well, he picks a fight with her over baseball jokes. Just sort of bounces around the periphery until, you know, she kind of realizes, oh wait, none of this is accidental, and she comes looking for him. So this idea of piquing her interest long enough to make her stay is actually kind of what he's doing until he like starts using Shane as a lever and forcing her to stay just because, you know, she doesn't want to leave no men left behind. What if I just did this with Grant? You've been in the Army twice as long as you ever needed to. Yeah, that's better. Then he can say, because he's angry, 44 years together. Dad blasted. Golly, awful. This is what you get when, you know, Sandra doesn't appreciate swearing, primarily because he has to listen to it. I think he encourages the largest vocabulary possible, just so to cut down on monotony. Alright, so we'll leave that there. This, you should celebrate thing, part of that next gag, that's fine. We can just leave that for a while. Now it's got to go back to, like, Xander thinking about his plan and what he's going to do. What is he... He's, like, not in a good state right now. He's kind of desperate. Stay under her radar for a day or two while she heals. But then I've got to make her stay. I must find a way to make her stay. I mean, he could just, like, force her to do it in a million different ways telepathically, but, you know, that's not the point. Make her want to stay. That's better. Because he could make her stay. That's not the issue. He wants her to want to stay. So I'll emphasize that. Bold italic. And then I should just go back and do another close-up headshot, basically, of Grant. And I can't get my angle because I don't have a great way to do it. I should like leave this on the hands to perhaps for Xander. What if I you know, like I'm having shaky hands here. Let's see, what if I just kind of show him fiddling with that tie? And see, there's the tie, and there's some hands, and he's like tying his tie with his hands. Yeah, that's a terrible sketch. And then they're like shaky, like that. See? Like he should be a bundle of nerves based on what he's gonna go do. Hands. If I write in cursive, I can leave it connected. And then I'm going to have another grant frame for the "You should celebrate" line. Look, oh man, I'm almost done with this layout. It's painful. Let's see. So let's cut this here. Bring that down. Where's my mask? It's up here. When I extended the canvas, it doesn't extend the mask layer. So there we go. Okay, so then we've got this dialogue. You should, oh, oops. I don't want everything on bold italic. Should celebrate if you're not busy doing other idiotic things. And yes, he is going to do idiotic things. That should be a lowercase I. If you're not busy doing other tick things. All right, so that'll just be a grant close up, and this is going to be further away, or maybe not. I don't know, but I'll leave that basically. Oh, I plan to draw Grant, and this is kind of important that Grant actually outranks Xander, and that Grant is the one who is technically supposed to be in charge. And it's like you never even think about it because Xander is just this sort of whirlwind force of personality that does exactly as he pleases. And then this, I've got to get a nice Terrigen ground render, I think, coming up to the castle. And I could do a combo shot, I think. I won't do that now. But I'm going to basically leave this as is. And then I do want to do some perhaps close-up of the castle, but I'll get a model, get my model worked up in Blender. I do have a model of the palace. This was done a long time ago, and my model isn't exactly like this, but I can come up with this model, and I should redo it. Oh, why are we still on bold italic? Idiotic things. He's like, you'd be shocked. That's fine. And I'll have, let me get my frames set up. So this one can go like that. And this one can go like that, and then this one's going to be a bigger one, kind of facing down, not super big. And then this widescreen shot, I don't know, I really want to get a sense of scale here, and this is kind of tough to do. I'm going to leave a little bit more space in my my frames for that as a widescreen, and then I may just like use the rest of this. Oh look, I'm under 40. I'm at 40,000, and even with my extra frames that I'm going to do, I'm not going to have to go over 40,000. That'll really help me out because I do not have the compute power to go much over 40,000. And then the next frame is going to be the last frame, just like that. If I was gonna cut that out and bring it down like that, only this is going to go all the way down, and it's kind of going to encompass the ending title, which I might as well put in here with my license plate font, 90 points. I always like have to spell it right. And why? Yes. Photoshop has some issues that I'm not super happy about. And one of them is how they handle the text. Like if you're touching a text layer, then it changes it. Let's see. All right. So I can take all my boxes and rasterize them and then merge them with Command E. And I use this to like control my overflow for the panels, because when I do the extra paints on the panels, then they go outside the lines, and I can use the boxes as a mask. So I've got some panels, but this is pretty ugly, but it is hacked out, and I'm starting to work on fixing this major dialogue issues. So I cut a lot of stuff, I added some stuff. I hope it's more clear. Oh, I never wrote those boxes down, whatever. And yeah, I think I'm gonna call it on this for today, unless, does the pen, like, if I hit it a couple times real hard, does it start working? Can I keep going on this project, or no? I'm like done. Doesn't work. Ugh. I'm gonna work on taking this pen apart, see what I can do. And if you watched this, thank you so much, and I'm gonna be back. I'll try this again next time when I have the pen up, and we can actually do the sketching and the drawing and the lines and stuff. So anyways, layout day, fine. Thank you.